So earlier this summer, I taught myself how to sew. And even though the process was a bit of a roller coaster ride, to put it lightly,
Oh my God, this is so stressful. When does sewing become relaxing?
I came out of the experience with a new pair of pants, a wonky tote, and a newfound love for the hobby. But believe it or not, I actually haven't touched my sewing machine since. Not because I didn't want to, I've honestly just been busy. So I'm gonna be dusting off my sewing machine and hopefully making the summer dress of my dreams. Or it might also just be an absolute disaster. Either way, I'm gonna try. I'm still very much a beginner. Like I said, I've only completed 2 sewing projects, a pair of pants and a tote. And I did both of those in the last video where I actually learned how to sew. I feel like I learned so much and a lot of sewing basics in both of those projects, but I think what they did the most for me is just instill a little bit of confidence so that I can take on something a little bit more intermediate. I decided that I really wanted to make a dress, and specifically the Skyline dress from Sydney Graham. The Skyline dress is like my ideal summer dress, and it's something that I can see myself really wearing quite a bit. So I already have my pattern. The only thing that's left to do is to get my fabric and my thread. I don't really know exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to fabric. Initially, I kind of wanted to do a plain but bright color, but then I was thinking that a pattern could be really cute because I saw this photo of the Skyline dress in this super cute plaid, and I'm hoping to find either a cotton or linen because it is a summer dress, so I want something that's really breathable and good for the summer. I've truly been waiting for this moment for months. I am so excited right now. Let's go to the fabric store. I feel like I just scored the best fabric for this dress. Turns out I'm going wild and crazy. We are definitely not making a plain dress anymore. Initially, when I walked in, I asked where the linen was, and I found this beautiful lime green linen that I really liked. But then I saw this beautiful collection of cotton plaids. It actually reminded me a lot of the inspo picture that I initially pulled. And that's actually what sold me because I just loved how the dress looked with a pattern like that. I was going between the pink and the green, and I just could not decide between them because they're just both so beautiful. And then the sales associate who was helping me looked at me and said, well, why don't you just use both? And at first I was like, no, can't use both. That'll be crazy. And then I just took a moment and I tried to imagine it. And I said, wait a second, this could actually be really fun and really cool because there's 3 panels on the dress. There's the top, the middle, and the bottom. And I'm imagining the green plaid as the top and the bottom part of the dress, and then the pink in the center. I also picked up some thread, but my total bill was $94. So this is a very expensive dress that I'm making, and I really don't want to it up. The next step is I gotta go home and actually wash the fabric, which I didn't know is something that you're supposed to do. I think it's to actually kind of pre-shrink it. So I want to get that done ASAP so that I can get started because I'm so excited right now. I got my clean fabric that's been pressed, my pattern pieces, and now the next step is to actually cut the fabric. I do have slight PTSD from the last time that I cut my fabric because that is when I made the most dire mistake when I was making my pants. When I was making the pant legs, I was supposed to take 2 of the pattern pieces and tape them together before cutting out the fabric to get the full length of the pant leg, but I didn't do that. So I basically created a culotte for myself. So lesson learned, and we are not going to make cutting mistakes today. There are some things that you need to look out for, like some of the pattern pieces say cut on fold, and I think that means you're supposed to fold the fabric, put the pattern piece on top, and then cut it so that it's perfectly symmetrical, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to refresh my memory a little bit so that I don't mess this up because this fabric was super expensive and I don't want to have to go buy more. Cutting mat. Now I'm going to take my very fancy Byredo Treehouse candle and use that to weigh down the paper, and a jar of paper clips, a DJI mic case on this corner, my DJI camera on the other corner. We're just going to go for it. God, this is terrifying. Holding my breath all the way through. Oh my God. I kind of feel like I'm not going to have enough fabric though. I'm a little bit scared. So on pattern pieces, you'll see these arrows. So the arrows tell you how to align your pieces so that you are cutting it on the right grain. You always want the arrows to run parallel to the selvage edge. So would it have to be like this? I do not have the right amount of fabric to be able to do this because I need to be able to place the straps on an angle. I cannot even explain to you how annoyed I am at the moment. I just feel like things can never really go fully smooth for me. There always has to be a hiccup, whether it's big or small, there's always a hiccup. You know, not having enough fabric isn't the worst thing in the world, but we're like at the very beginning, you know? I'm just gonna get my butt over to the fabric store right now. Be right back. New fabric has been secured. I'm gonna just see you when I'm done cutting the fabric because I feel like I really need to concentrate. Ta-da! As much as I would love to, I am not quite ready to get started. I'm gonna have to learn how to use a brand new machine. So my birthday was in June, and when my family asked me what I wanted for my birthday, I said, a serger, please. It is the Brother 1534D. This is a special machine that will essentially finish off the edge of whatever you're sewing. If you cut a piece of fabric and you don't finish the edge, whether that's with like a zigzag stitch on a regular sewing machine or with a serger, then the edge is going to end up fraying. So a serger isn't 100% necessary because like I said, you can finish off an edge with a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine, but it does give a much more professional look. And one thing about me that you have to know is that I go all in. I do not like to dip my toes into the waters when I'm starting a new hobby. I want to dive right in head first. So that's why I asked for a serger for my birthday. My birthday was over a month ago and I still have not even touched this because I did want to actually try it for the first time on camera. So before we even start to put the dress together, I want to learn how to use my serger so that I can get right to it when it's time to finish off the edges of my dress. Where do we begin? Ah, oh my God. I gotta tell you, if you don't have patience with all the sewing business, you're cooked. Just threading that machine, granted I am learning, took me 35 minutes. It might be the moment of truth to actually see if I did this correctly and see if it actually works. I have some scrap fabric that we're going to test this on. Nope, that didn't work. One side of it looks super clean. The other side looks very twisted. I don't think we're gonna be starting the dress today. I think I'm probably just gonna end up practicing on this machine all night until I actually figure it out. I have thread and rethread this machine 37 times. Blueprint DIY, you have the best serger threading tutorial. Thank you, I love you. I just tried to use it on this scrap piece of fabric and it actually looks freaking amazing, but I want to make sure it wasn't a fluke and I'm going to do it again. But I think I might have gotten it. It works. Whoa, okay, relax. 7 p.m., you guys? I have been working on this nonstop for the last 3 hours. And I only just now got it. Look how perfect it looks. It looks so professional. Oh my God, I cannot wait for my dress to have the most gorgeous serged edges. Today was basically just a day of me getting my shit together, learning how to use a new machine, cutting my fabric, making sure I had everything that I need. That way, when I get started, it's gonna be full speed ahead. I plan on spending the entire day today making this dress. So I need to fuel up, get caffeinated, do my skincare routine, and get started. By the way, I'm not trying to scare you. This mask is my Current Body LED mask, and it's basically a red light therapy mask. I wear this every single day, morning and night. My skin has been on one lately. So I have been really consistent with my red light, and I find it's been helping so much, which has been amazing because red light is really good for inflammation. It's good for redness, and my skin has been needing the love. So that's why I wear this during my morning routine. It's my absolute favorite. I actually don't think I would be able to live without it. Okay, let's make some matcha. My favorite matcha ever. I'm not gonna lie, wearing this mask during my morning routine does make me feel like the guy from American Psycho. Not so pretty, but it does the trick. Gus, are we gonna make the most beautiful dress today? Are you also gonna be my sewing assistant? Let's get sewing. My sewing assistant has made himself very comfortable. Of course you wanna sit on all of the squares, Gus. This dress was bound to have some cat hair on it anyway. I just spent the last 20 minutes trying to thread my machine and put my thread on my bobbin, and my thread just kept flying off of my machine every single time I would spin it to wind it on the bobbin. Why isn't this winding properly? I feel like it could sense my fear, like that's why it's not cooperating with me. I'm wasting so much thread right now. I was just about crashing out. Like I've been at this for the last 40 minutes. I probably should have given myself a little bit of a refresher because I just assumed that I remembered exactly what to do, and that's just not at all the case. I was missing an entire step. I have to bring the thread to this little catch over here, put it around this little thing, and then bring it onto the bobbin. And that is why it was not spinning correctly. Another lesson in taking my time, because I was definitely rushing through this process. Hallelujah. Threading my bobbin, hallelujah. I'm finally ready to start sewing. So I'm gonna be both following the pattern and Sydney Graham's YouTube tutorial. She does have a video like that you can actually follow along to, which is super helpful. When I cut out my pieces, I actually paper clip the pattern piece to the fabric. That way it's really easy for me to actually see what piece of fabric is what, because I am not going to depend on my brain for remembering what each piece is, because they kind of all start to look somewhat similar to one another, especially like front and back pieces. So I'm going to start with the front piece. Ooh, this is my first time even opening it up to see what it looks like. Oh my God, look at that. So this is going to be the top piece of the dress. I really want to start to learn how to like properly read a pattern, because when I made my pants the first time, I was just watching her video tutorial. I honestly didn't even look at the pattern, but I want to learn how to read the pattern, because obviously not every single sewing pattern moving forward is going to have a video tutorial that goes alongside with it. So I feel like it's really helpful for me to look at the pattern, see what it's asking me to do, and then go to the video and see visually what it's actually asking me to do. And that way I can start to put two to two together. And it's just going to be a good learning experience for me, you know? First stitch of the dress, let's do it. Yay! It's also perfectly 1/4 of an inch from the edge. I deserve a win right now. I feel like up until this moment, I have only been stressed. It's nice to feel like we're moving in a good direction, and it's a positive one. I was actually watching this TikTok the other day saying how hobbies that you do where you work with your hands, so whether that's sewing or knitting or even like baking or literally anything where your mind is completely occupied by whatever is happening between your two hands, you will get to a point where you enter into a flow state where time doesn't exist anymore, and you are so focused on what you are doing with your hands that you can't really think about anything else. And it's the most euphoric feeling ever. Like as a creative, I feel like I enter into a flow state quite often. And it's like one of the few times where my anxiety actually dissipates and goes away. Even though the first little bit of this sewing dress journey has been a little bit stressful and it hasn't really gone super smoothly already, now that I'm starting to actually get going, I'm feeling so much less anxious. So we have this little strip, and I'm going to make the binding with this. So this is going to be the neckline binding. So you first fold it in half and then press it with the iron. Oh, the button for my steamer just fell off. I swear, is Mercury in retrograde? Like, what is happening? Wow, I feel like I did a really good job. Look at my gorgeous binding. And we're taking out the seam ripper. I was trying to stitch these two pieces together, but it just was not working. And we try again. We're not getting discouraged. How do you do this? Why doesn't it work? I really did a very bad job. It looks terrible. Oh my God. Thread is fully jammed in my machine. I would like to quit. I have decided in this moment that I am going to redo everything. I'm gonna remove all the stitches that I just put into this fabric. I don't think I did the right seam allowance first and foremost, which is an issue. So I'm going to redo that, and hopefully the second time around is going to be much smoother. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, yeah, yeah, I think I did it. Yeah, I'll take it. So the piece that I just sewed on, I'm actually going to be folding over the edge, and it's going to create like a super clean looking edge. Look at that. Whoa, that looks professional. That just covers up all the mistakes I just made. Okay, cute. I want to redo that. I do not like how I did that at all. It's all messed up here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're redoing that. Okay, take two. I am so proud of myself. You guys look, it looks so good. It is so even and so clean looking. 6 times the charm. Because through that entire process, I had to work against my natural instinct, which is, it's good enough. I really want this dress to be nice. I want to wear it and actually feel like it looks good. Even though I really did not enjoy seam ripping and redoing every single step that I did 2 to 3 times, it was the right thing to do because I actually ended up getting a near perfect result. Yay. By the way, it's been 2.5 hours and I've done 1.5 steps, so we got a long way to go. Things are about to get scary, you guys, because I'm about to take my beautiful front panel piece and I'm gonna serge it for the first time. And you serge these edges so that they're nice and finished and they won't fray. I'm so scared. Oh my God, 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 oh my God. It worked. That's gorgeous. My first serged edge on a piece. Wow, it's looking good. Cute. We have a top. So I ended up finishing the rest of the top off camera. I essentially just attached the binding all around. I also attached the straps, made a channel on the back over here, and fed the strap through. Did I make a small mistake when creating that channel? I sure did. Does it still look good? It sure does. I haven't fully attached the straps yet. There actually is no formal attachment to the straps. It basically just ties in a bow over here, which I haven't done yet. What is left to be done? Well, it's really not that much. I think we're actually going to be able to finish the dress today. Fingers crossed. I need to put together the last 2 tiers, obviously, but there's not that many details to the last 2 tiers other than the pockets that's on the middle tier. I really am hoping that the dress is going to be done by today because I actually have a wedding party tomorrow. And I say wedding party because it's not really like a traditional wedding. It's more of like a backyard wedding get together. Like they're not actually getting married. It's just 2 people who recently got married and are having a little garden party to celebrate. So all to say it's a little bit more of like a casual event. And then it hit me, I can wear the dress that I freshly sewed. I mean, if it turns out good. So my new goal is to have a dress that's cute enough that I actually want to wear it to this party tomorrow. I also moved my sewing machine to my dining room table to change the scenery a little bit because I'm sure you're bored of just staring at that very depressing wall. I gotta redo that second bedroom where my whole sewing setup is because I just feel like it's not very inspiring or nice to look at. So maybe that'll be a future video. For now, we're gonna sew in my dining room. It's time to work on the pockets. Let's go. This is what's called the pocket bag. So this is like the interior of the pocket and we have to serge all around the edge. I hope I don't mess this up because I don't have a lot of extra fabric. Oh my God, 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 oh my God. I did it. Sir, do you mind? Look at the gorgeous top stitch. And yes, I am using green because I just feel like it's gonna tie in the green and the other color. I'm also dangerously low on thread. I feel like I'm gonna end up running out of thread at like the final hour. Like it's gonna be the last piece, I'm gonna have no thread left. Watch. Whoa.
direction, and then
I feel like these are the finishing steps and it's so exciting. In knitting, there's something called yarn chicken when you're finishing a project and you're also finishing your ball of yarn and you don't know if you're gonna finish the project before or after you finish the ball of yarn. I don't feel like I'm quite yet there, but I feel like I'm almost at the equivalent of thread chicken. And I don't like the feeling. Well, it looks like I'm absolutely going to be losing the game of thread chicken and time to go back to the fabric store. I'm losing light slowly but surely because it's already 6 p.m. I don't even know how that happened. Just finished a ginormous step, and that was connecting the bottom layer and the mid layer of the skirt. Honestly, guys, I really do feel like I royally f***ed it up. You basically take the loose end of a basting stitch and you pull it to create the gathers. When I started to pull my stitch, the thread started to break. Don't know how to stop that from happening. And once the thread broke once, I mean, it just kept happening. And then I really just had to like wing it and try to make my gathers look as good as possible. And I don't feel like it looks that good. I have not yet turned it right side out to see what it looks like. And I'm honestly a little bit scared. This is also gonna be the first time that I'm seeing like the pink attached to the green. So this is kind of thrilling. So let's do that together. Oh my God, I'm scared. Oh, that's not bad at all. Oh my God, wait. It kind of looks amazing. Wait, guys. I'm gonna cry, it's so cute. It's so funny because I find with sewing, like it could look horrific on the side that you're working, so like on the inside of the fabric, and then you turn it right side out and it just looks so clean and polished because your seams are not visible. It's kind of like magic. The gathers could definitely be better and more even, but I don't feel like it looks bad. Like it doesn't look like I've made a mistake or anything. It looks fine. Really, really, really like the combination of the pink and the green. I was so worried this would be really ugly. And listen, I know this is not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. It's definitely very different, but I think it's gonna be really fun. I just need to attach the top and then I think we're pretty much done. My serger has a giant knot in it. Don't know how that happened. So I'm gonna have to try and fix that. The next step is to attach the top to the skirt. So I'm just gonna do that. And I think the next time you see me, we will be doing finishing touches and then the final reveal. Time to finish this dress. The last and final step is to hem it. I literally just woke up. I jumped out of bed because I was so excited to get this finished. I was thinking about the fact that I spent basically $100 on the fabric of this dress. And then if I were to factor in the hours that I spent making it, I kind of wish that I timed myself to see how long it actually took me to make this dress because I'm really curious the exact amount of time. But if I had to guess, maybe it was about 6 hours, maybe a bit more. Let's say 8 to be safe. If I were to pay myself $30 an hour, $240 in labor, plus $100 in the fabric. This is essentially a $340 dress. So I'm hoping that when I put this on at the end, this is going to feel like a luxury $340 dress, but we'll see. Okay, let's get sewing. It's done, you guys. I'm gonna give this a final press and then I'm actually going to get ready for this wedding party that I have this afternoon and see if I actually wanna wear this dress. I will be back for the final reveal. Are you ready? I made this dress. This entire sewing process was such a roller coaster. I was not confident at all that I would come out on the other side with a dress that I actually liked. This might just be my new favorite dress. It's just so fun and colorful and whimsical. As soon as I put this on and I looked in the mirror, I just couldn't stop smiling. Like, this is a dress that just makes me really, really happy. I don't think I showed you guys the best part. The pockets. Because this fabric is 100% cotton, it just feels so lightweight and airy. It's definitely a very flouncy and flowy dress. Like, there's no real shape to it, which I kind of really like. Like, I wanted something that was exactly this, flowy, breathable. Now, does it feel like a $300 plus dress? I'm gonna be honest, it does not. If I saw this in store, I would totally pick it up and be like, oh my God, this is so cute. I definitely want to try it on. But if I looked at the price tag and it said $350, I would have put it right back on the shelf. If I'm just factoring in the fabric and I'm not even putting the labor costs into play, I would buy this dress for $100. The best part about this dress is that if I ever encounter somebody who wants to know where it's from, I get to say, oh, this? I sewed it myself. Being able to tell somebody that you made the piece of clothing that you have on your body is the biggest flex ever. So am I happy with the end result? I absolutely am. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. In fact, I did not record this because I was kind of panicked, but the strap ended up popping off over here. I think what happened is I just didn't pull enough fabric into the binding when I was sewing it down. So it's just started to come undone and I had to hand sew it back together. So it's not, you know, like a perfectly constructed garment, but I think for my second piece of clothing that I've ever made, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this. I think it's really, really great. And from afar, if you're not looking super close, it looks good. I need to remind myself that I literally just started doing this and I'm not gonna be perfect right off the bat. And it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of projects until I start to build my skills. And that's the most important thing when it comes to trying anything new. Do not get in your head about not being perfect right off the bat. I think I am gonna be wearing this to the garden party, wedding celebration today. I really do think this is kind of the perfect dress. We do need to dress it up a little bit, so let's style it. First, I was thinking that my accessories should be neutral, but I actually think leaning into the color and kind of pulling a color from the dress and putting it into the accessories will actually elevate it and make it look even cooler. So I have these really fun chartreusey yellow heels. They're from Saint Lo. How perfect are these heels with this dress? I feel like it just makes it so much cooler. I want to keep the rest of my accessories pretty simple. I think I'm just gonna put on really fun gold chunky earrings. For the bag, I figured we can either go for yellow or green. I feel like both could look really cute, but because this dress is so whimsical, I really want to send it and go full whimsy. And I think the fun strap on this bag gives a little bit more whimsy. I actually feel very cute in this. I love it. This was yet again such a fun experience, trying something new and making a dress for the very first time. If you have any patterns that you want to suggest to me, or even like a sewing challenge, like maybe I can try to recreate a really expensive dress myself. I mean, I don't know if I have the skills to be able to do that just yet, but as you guys know, I'm always willing to try. Definitely hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.